All right, I'm putting this up as a video because it's going to be a little bit of an explanation. You see how this servo is placed on the P51 Mustang? I had to reverse this to face the same direction because no matter what I did, resetting the radio to factory default, changing the Y splitter, changing the servo, no matter what, both ailerons continued to move in the same direction. Even bypassing the reflex 2, it was the same issue. And I don't know why. I have no idea why. I don't know if there is a problem with... the problem can only be in the transmitter, I would think. Some kind of malfunction in the transmitter. It's causing a feedback loop that's moving them both in the same direction. So I had to physically make them the same direction rather than opposing them as you normally would through a Y splitter and into channel 1. And I honestly don't know why it's doing that, because it's aileron, elevator, throttle, rudder. We all know that, right? So I know I've got that all hooked up right, but for some reason, they would not move opposite directions when they were mechanically set opposed like they're supposed to. I couldn't figure it out. I could not figure it out. So I went through everything, resetting, rebinding, changing servo, changing Y splitter, everything. And still, it was, even though they were both receiving the same signal and they were both mechanically opposed in the wing, they still moved the same direction up and down when I went left or right. It was so weird. Never had that happen before. Has anybody had that happen before? Where you had everything set up correctly on the ailerons, you had it set up through a Y splitter, through the first channel, and you had the servos mechanically opposing each other like they should be. Like that one should be facing the other direction, not the same direction as this one. Have you ever had that problem come up to where the ailerons still both moved like elevators in the same direction no matter what I did? I had to literally carve out a piece, you know, of the wing, and then I'm going to put the foam back over on this side just to get them to move opposite of each other while they're both moving the same direction. And I've switched out, I've done everything. I've switched out servos, wires, the whole 9 yards, and I can't figure out what's causing that malfunction. It's just crazy. Everything's hooked up right. All the grounds are where they're supposed to be. Everything's hooked right. All the grounds are supposed to be here on the reflex. Everything else is working perfectly, except for the ailerons. I don't know if it's a malfunction in the transmitter or the receiver. I need to get a Spectrum receiver or something. Spectrum transmitter. But I got it working. I'm going to fly it. I just hope that it doesn't correct itself somehow accidentally mid-flight, and then I have two ailerons that are now acting like elevators, because then I'm going to have to try and rudder turn this thing to a landing. And that's going to be fun. We all have seen me fly this before, so. Good thing I've got that new TPU rubber prop on there. Still gives me plenty of thrust, and if I hit something, right back to where it's supposed to be. And that's TPU from the AMS. Works perfect. I did do a short. I'll link it to this, so you can see what torture I put this through and how it's still working perfectly. All right, well, let me know in the comments if you've had the same issue. It's the weirdest thing.